You know, there was a time where you actually had to be good at something. Now, all you have to do is be famous, you know, or be, you know, crazy or attract attention.
Con Gaby Cam y Javier Ibarreche.
At the beginning of the film, we see David being confronted with a very tough decision, and it almost feels like you two play a role of villain hero going on. And I wanted to ask you, as actors, what is the secret to validate whatever choices your characters make without taking sides? Or do you take sides as us?
I think generally, as actors, we take the side of
Our character.
you know,
Right.
and that's because that's in service of the story ultimately.
Right.
So I'm just, playing, as written, and then taking what I'm given.
Right.
And the wonderful thing about working with an actor like Denzel is that you're given a lot. So he's going to give you everything, from his character's perspective.
Yeah, right.
And so I, try to do the same, be as generous as he is. And then out of that comes, ideally, something that makes sense and is full of life and reads to the audience as true.
Because ultimately, it's the filmmaker's choice. We just give him options and ideas, colors to paint with. But he or she and their editor decides what strokes, if you will, to use.
What would you say are the moral and social confrontations Spike Lee's gonna put us through with this film?
Well, there's obviously the biggest dilemma, do you pay the money that you would have paid to keep your own son for someone else's, for their safe return? And I think, that is the largest question that people will leave the theater asking, and why I think the movie is so exciting and meaningful, because it does actually spark conversation. It's not a movie you walk out of and, forget about. You can really put yourself in the shoes of the Kings and of Jeffrey Wright's character. But it also has a lot to do with, I think there are some messages in there for a man of Spike's generation and of Denzel's. There's a lot of kind of poking fun at the younger generation's use of social media, the time spent on devices. So people can take a lot away from this film in terms of lessons and ways to move forward in life.
I like that. And what I love about this film is that it has a lot of layers, and it also has a lot of topics to bring to the table. I love how you guys came to terms with the fact that social media, you will never make people happy. We know that. But there's also another topic going on in this film that I find really interesting, and that it's an ongoing conversation nowadays, which is it possible to separate the artist, the person, from the art?
Then what do you mean when you say from the art then? What is the art then?
Whenever someone maybe does something that goes publicly and it's not the best, but then you still like what they do, they still like their art. What do you think about that? Is it possible to make a separation from the person as a human being and whatever art they make, whether it is movies, music, whatever it is?
There was a time where you actually had to be good at something. Now, all you have to do is be famous. Or be, crazy or attract attention. There's levels to art, and then there's commerce. But one of the things Spike does is he surrounds himself with rich, talented, different levels of experience, from proof with Jeffrey's own son. But he surrounds us, he surrounds his artists, if you will, with other artists, and he gives them the space to play and feel free and to feel like they can fail, and that's okay, a safe place to play. And that's one of the things I like about working with Spike. Is that I feel like I like the playpen.
I think what Denzel's saying is that, and it's one of the questions that's raised in the film, is how much is being done in the name of art now, just generally in culture, and how much is being done in the name of
Commerce.
money and money and attention, money and fame. So how many artists are there out there?
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the first question to begin with. I'm not sure we're living in the most creative time. I think, man, I look back at, you look back at certain music, you look back at the themes of music when Denzel and I were younger. It was a different aspiration. There was a different aspiration for filmmakers. Certainly in music, and our film is very much about music rather, that, there were different ideas that people were communicating in music. Now it seems a lot of it is about money, it's about fame, it's about power, it's about all of these things. Not sure how creative that is.
I think it also puts on the table the topic of art becoming an industry and a business. What do you think are the risks of that happening every day, even more so?
I mean, so much I see it in my own life where talented, wonderful, hardworking people are either advancing in their careers or not because maybe they don't value the bottom line enough. I have a friend who was just let go from work for advising clients not to take projects that they are, not excited about for the paycheck, right? Even though it was kind of opposite the advice maybe her employees would have liked her to take.
Somebody's got Trey.
What do you mean somebody's got
Somebody's kidnapped our son.
$17.5 million in an all-black Jordan backpack.
Try me if you think I'm playing.
I ain't got.
Con Gatica y Javier Ibarreche.